again to Millside. So today we're talking about probably one of the most underrated little connectors, the Camlocks. So Camlocks, if you're not familiar with brewing or distilling and you don't know what these little connections do, let me explain. So if you've purchased, for argument's sake, a Brewzilla, you'll notice at the top it has a Camlock built in. Now what makes these Camlocks so unique and so nice to use is their simplicity. You would simply click in the corresponding male part, click the two cams down, and you now have a safe, simple, secure connection for transferring of liquids. Now you can purchase obviously all of these sorts of cams in different formats. If you go onto our website, you will see all the various types that you can get from us. Now what makes them so simple is, in essence, there's two little cams here with little nodes on them, a seal at the base of the female, and then you have a corresponding male with a recess. Now when you click the two in like that and you click it down, what you're in essence doing is forcing the male connection onto the face of the silicone seal, and that's what makes a simple, safe connection. To release it, simply click it down and the connection is over. Now you can use this in a variety of applications. So let's say, for argument's sake, you wanted to transfer the wort from your Brewzilla to your fermenter, and that happens to be 2 meters away. You could get yourself some silicone hose, get yourself a male with a barb on the end, and simply click it in. I mean, that connection is now done. It was that quick. Switch on your pump, transfer to your fermenter. When you're done, simply unclick. That connection is now terminated, and there you are. You can clean that pipe. Quick, simple, effective connections. Let's say, in another example, you've got a digiboil and you've now decided you wanted to recirculate your wort, so you buy yourself a pump. Now you need those connections to get all of this operating. Now, bearing in mind, obviously sanitation plays a big part. Whether you're brewing, distilling, doesn't matter. You want to be able to clean these connections and hoses. So in this instance, you'd say you connected onto the outlet to the digiboil here, just using their little barb connection. Now you could get yourself female on one side. Doesn't have to be female, it could be the male, and on the opposite side you put the corresponding opposite part, and again connect on. Done. Go to your next piece, get your male part. That connection is now done, and literally that took all of what, 10 seconds to do that. And again, exactly the same when you're finished. You want to sterilize and clean all your piping. I mean, that's it. That's disconnected. That can now go and get clean. So you can see the simplicity of these. Now we obviously also keep all the spare seals. After a few hundred connections or so, you know, that silicone seal might wear thin or wear out. And again, these are cheap and not difficult to replace, and we're keeping all of these components to make it simple and easy for you guys in the long run. So consider these fittings when you're looking at expanding your brewery or your distilling system. Let's say, for argument's sake, you want to run water from your tap outside. There's absolutely no reason why you can't install one of these onto your tap system outside, and then you could connect your opposing or male part onto that, do the connection, run into your brewery system. It's so simple, so easy, so reliable. If you go onto the website www.millside.co.za, you can have a look at the range. We should be able to accommodate you with just about every fitting that you're looking for, as well as the space for those fittings. So do consider that next time when you're thinking about upgrading your piping, or you're looking at adding onto your system, whether it be in the brewing or the distilling side. Now the other product I wanted to talk to you today about is these carbonation stones. So let me just give you a quick example here. Now I'm running CO2 through this, and let's assume now you wanted to carbonate your beer, or you wanted to oxygenate your wort before you throw your yeast in. This is the perfect tool for the job. Now these stones come from KegLand, either in a barb or an MFL fitting. Now you'll notice the difference there. Let me just grab a barb one, and if you look at it, you can actually see the difference in the two. One's 0.5 micron and one is 2 micron. Now obviously the finer the micron, the finer the bubbles, in theory the quicker your oxygenation or carbonation will happen. Now you can see it is quite vigorous, and you can obviously just adjust the pressure using your regulator. Now just remember, with these stones, you cannot use a standard sort of pump that you would use in an aquarium. If you're using one of those little air stones, that little pump will not work with these, so do bear that in mind. You do need a lot more pressure, but bearing in mind the level of oxygenation that you're getting with this, you cannot compare to those stones. So once you've chosen the stone that you prefer in terms of the micron level, then decide if you need one of these fittings. If you're using a barb fitting, obviously you can heat up your hose a little bit in hot water, push it onto the barb, crimp it. In some instances, like in this one here, you can see there's no clamp, but that particular hose we're using really does make a good strong fit on the barb, and once it's set, it's very difficult. In fact, you almost have to cut it off. So what are the disadvantages of those stones? Well, you can't handle them like you would a normal air stone. You need to remember, if you get any oils from your skin and you touch that actual stone, you will block it. Then you need to boil it in hot water for about 5 minutes just to get rid of that layer on the stone, and it's good to go again. Then obviously sanitize your stones. Make sure every time you use it, you thoroughly sanitize it. You can just run some sanitizer through the stone. Obviously boil it again and store it that way, and perhaps when you use it again, just boil it again quickly for a few minutes before you use it. Make sure you don't get any contamination or bacteria in it. So there's 3 different stones that we have available from KegLand. They're not hell of expensive, they're certainly worth the effort. If you've got a CO2 cylinder, then you're already set. You can start using these to carbonate your beer. There's a lot of charts that you can use to sort of get an idea of which micron stone you're using, how long you'll be carbonating. But it's a great way to force carbonate your beer and get the job done quickly, and certainly an excellent way to oxygenate your wort for good yeast growth in the beginning. Doesn't matter whether you're distilling or brewing. So guys, I hope that was informative. It gave you an idea on these 2 products, and we look forward to your support, and see you again on the next video.